Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. This is David. Um, I wanted to do this particular podcast because the idea just popped into my head as I was on my way back from the gym. Today's Monday, uh, and I again find a lot of these videos that I'm doing just happen to be tying into the earlier video of routines and habits. My typical routine for Monday, Wednesday, Friday is to go to the gym and lift weights, to do resistance training. Um, I worked out on Friday, and this weekend I had some fun things to do with a couple of friends. We were celebrating basically a friend's bachelor party, and so a lot of that involved some games and activities we did, bowl soccer, archery tag, stuff that I've never tried, but I had a lot of fun doing. And essentially, it ended up being quite physical and quite a workout. So obviously, you work out one day and try and give yourself a day in between to recover. Some people, I think probably bounce back a little faster, but I find for me, I am a little more sore on the next day, and I do like to take a break because, it just gives my body that ability to heal, grow, and then, back to base in terms of whatever it is that I want to do in terms of workout, right? The next day after. So having worked out Friday and then having had sort of increased activity Saturday, and then of course the weekend being a fun weekend involved alcohol and that that takes a toll on your body as well. Today morning I woke up feeling very sore. Sunday was again just part of the weekend's activities was I was feeling sore, but you're also just out of it. But today I was feeling sore and tired and not particularly motivated, obviously. But I thought to myself, okay, I have a choice in terms of doing something exercise wise. I can just say I'm sore, I don't want to do anything, and I can just stay home, and then probably feel kind of shitty about that later. Um, or I can try and do something and at least get some kind of benefit, any kind of exercise, just and in some way at least keep to a routine of trying to be active. So on a quick moment's notice, what I decided to do was grab some of my swimming gear and go swimming. So if I'm sounding a little stuffed, it's because my nose is running a bit. And again, the reason for that is in the process of me just saying, you know what, let me just go to the swimming pool, I forgot to take my goggles. Not smart. Won't do that again, or at least won't try to, um, because obviously your eyes are just going to sting with the chlorine. But I got there and I was like, okay, well, again, I have a choice now. So I forgot my goggles. Either I just say screw this and I go back, or I just suck it up and do it, and then just remind myself and tell myself not to do this again because you don't want to swim without your goggles. So I swam. I had an hour, and to be frank, it wasn't even the best swim in terms of just the amount of laps I did, or how I am typically when I go for a swim. Um, I find that I'm obviously much more sharp and focused. In terms of just being more intentional about swimming. And again, a lot of that is tied to me forgetting my goggles. But on my way back and through the swim, I was just thinking to myself, I can look at this a couple of different ways. I can look at this as I didn't um, work out today in the way I wanted to. I went to swim, but I screwed up and I forgot my goggles. I swam, but I didn't get the best swim I could have or should have. Or I can look at it from the positive perspective and say, listen, this is not the day you ideally would have wanted to have, but you did go and do something that you weren't necessarily eager to do in the morning or planning to do. You salvaged uh, a workout day in some way by doing something that involves some activity and something that's beneficial to your health, right? And I don't know for everybody. I find probably a lot of people might feel this way. I definitely do. I don't always give myself these small wins because I think in my head I'm quite strict with myself. I expect a lot from myself, uh, and I think there's certain benefits to that. It is great to have expectations of yourself and set certain guidelines and set sort of a framework to operate under. Right, these are the things that you want for yourself. These are the goals you're setting for yourself. These are the markers that you want to hit. Right, and again, this is where routines and habits play a huge part because when it becomes second nature, there's less of this manual effort. It's almost automatic. But um, I think it's just part of me trying to get better and just improve and evolve is learning to be kind to yourself in these sort of situations and many situations, of course. But um, take the time to give yourself these small wins, right? It's um, it's not beneficial to just beat up on yourself when you don't do exactly what you're expecting to do. Um, and I mean, there's also the opposite side of it. I could easily just give myself a pass and say, well, I technically worked out Friday, and then exercise on Saturday would count as exercise, or like activities on Saturday would count as exercise. So I don't really need to do anything today, and I should give myself a recovery day. But then there's the other side of, well, you've given yourself this mental goal: go to the gym Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Do your best to keep to that. And when you deviate from that, be hold yourself accountable and figure out why. There might be a good reason, but also don't give yourself this ongoing pass to say, um, yeah, it's fine, right? So I think there's a middle ground here. Is really what I'm trying to get at, and just speak out loud on. It's try and make the effort to be diligent on the things that you're trying to do. But when you do slip up, um, be able to find a middle ground and see where you can still try and get something out of it, right? Can you repurpose your day in a way where you can still do something and get something out of it? Um, can you do something that is still gonna be, for you meaningful in a way that'll still check some kind of box to be like, okay, yeah, I didn't do exactly what I wanted to, but I at least made an effort and I did something, and I got a small win for myself, right? And I think this probably goes across the board for everybody in every different way. There's 101 things I think where we're all trying to do, um, and sometimes it's we do it or we don't, and when we don't do it, we really beat up on ourselves. And as I said, there are times and there are places where you do need to be stern with yourself, hold yourself accountable. I think that's extremely important. But there is a point where it becomes, it's a point of diminishing returns, right? You want to be tough on yourself, but not so tough that then you're putting yourself down and not giving yourself the ability to learn and get better and improve, right? And this was one of those situations. Uh, and I don't often even reflect on this, but again, I think being able to do this podcast is I'm enjoying it because these are sort of the things that are kind of winding through my head. There's always these stream of consciousness conversations that I'm having in my head, and uh, often happens when I'm driving, trying to sleep, But this topic was coming in my head, and I thought this would be good to talk about. Um, this is going to be a short one, really. I don't really plan on dragging this out or trying to speak at length on this, but yeah, to summarize things, I would say to anybody listening, if you're having these kinds of days, or if you've had these kinds of days in the past, uh, give yourself the small wins. Take the time to give yourself, a little bit of leeway. Um, be accountable to yourself. Hold yourself accountable to the things that you're trying to uh, do and achieve and try for and strive for. But beyond that, find the point where you can say, okay, today's not exactly what I wanted it to be, but I'm gonna still try and make it worthwhile. Right? There's still a lot of benefit to that. So let me know what you think. I'm pretty sure you've probably gone through this. And if you have any thoughts on that, feel free to share it. Would love to hear. Um, but yeah, that's really what I wanted to talk about. All right. So to everybody listening, hope you're having a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.